Good morning. In the earlier lecture, we started photoelectric effect. First circuit diagram for experimental setup to study photoelectric effect. In the last lecture, I explained the circuit setup. After that, I also explained the working. In the second diagram, we have drawn the graph between photoelectric current and retarding potential at three different intensities. We explained the whole figure. Then, in the second diagram, I told that the photoelectric current depends on the intensity of light, as it is clear from the second diagram. If intensity of light falling on the photocell is weak, the photocurrent is smaller. If we increase the intensity, the photocurrent is also increasing. This is correct. The discoverer of this effect were in puzzle, because when they studied energy spectrum of the photoelectrons, they found that the average energy of the photoelectrons is independent of intensity of the light falling on the photocell. Number of electrons emitted from the photocell in the photoelectric effect is proportional to the intensity of light. Few number of photoelectrons will be emitted if intensity of light is weak. Large number of photoelectrons will be emitted if intensity of light falling is large. So the photocurrent is directly proportional to intensity of the light falling on the photocell. What the observer studied? They studied the energy spectrum of photoelectrons, and when they studied energy spectrum of the photoelectron, they found that average kinetic energies of all photoelectrons are almost same for various intensity of light falling on the photocell if frequency of the light falling on the photocell is held constant. The time duration of falling of light on the photocell and emission of photoelectrons is negligibly small. Actually, it is about 3 nanoseconds. The time of falling of light on the photocell and the time of emission of photoelectrons from the photocell is about 3 nanoseconds. Too small, very, very small. Let us consider sodium metal. Observable photocurrent is seen in case of the photocell where the metallic plate used for the photoelectric effect is sodium cell or sodium plate. It is found that when the intensity of light is about 10 to the power minus 6 watt per meter square. Then there is emission of photoelectrons from the sodium metal, and the photoelectric current can flow through the photocell. Let us consider a sodium metal of area 1 meter square. There are about 10 to the power 19 number of atoms in one atom thick layer of area 1 meter square of the sodium metal. Let us consider uppermost 10 atom layers of the sodium supposed to absorb the intensity of light falling on the sodium metal. Then number of atoms will become 10 to the power 20. What is the intensity of light falling on the sodium metal? 10 to the power minus 6 watt per meter square. How many atoms are there in 1 meter square area of 10 atomic width? 10 to the power 20. Energy gained by every atom from this 10 to the power 20 will be equal to 10 to the power minus 6 divided by 10 to the power 20, that is 10 to the power minus 26 watt per meter square. Energy gained by every atom in this example is how much? 10 to the power minus 26 watt per meter square. And if you find this energy in electron volt, you have to divide this figure by 10 to the power minus 19. If you divide this figure by 10 to the power minus 19, you will get 10 to the power minus 7 electron volt per second. It means that kinetic energy gained by an atom in the sodium metal when 10 to the power minus 6 watt per meter square intensity of light is falling on the metal surface is 10 to the power minus 7 electron volt per second. To acquire 1 electron volt of energy, every atom will need 10 to the power 7 second. And what is 10 to the power 7 second? 10 to the power 7 second is about 1 year. It means that if you continuously allow this much intensity of light to fall on the sodium metal surface, to gain 1 electron volt of energy by single atom, the time required by that atom is about 10 to the power 7 second or approximately 1 year. And what found practically? Practically it is found that within no time every photoelectron acquires energy 1 electron volt. The observed kinetic energy of the photoelectrons in the photoelectric effect is about 1 electron volt. It does not require 10 to the power 7 second. 1 year is not required by these atoms. It means that the electromagnetic theory of light or wave theory of light failed to explain this fact, failed to explain how each atom gains 1 electron volt within no time, of course within 3 nanosecond. One more thing, if we consider some sort of resonance is occurring there, the energy acquired may be at the most 10 to the power minus 16 or at the most 10 to the power minus 10, which is much smaller than the observed energy of the photoelectrons. Thus, the wave theory of light is unable to explain energy spectrum of the free electrons, and therefore the discoverers of the photoelectric effect were in puzzle. This paradox, this dilemma was resolved when they study this graph. Figure number 3, photo current on y-axis, retarding potential on x-axis, which is the reverse bias, 0 and then minus, and they got this type of course. This is frequency nu 1, frequency nu 2, frequency nu 3, and if you want the intensity to be constant, then you have to modify these. If you want the intensity of light to be constant here, this figure number 3 is to be modified this way. I intensity of light is constant, and nu 3 greater than nu 2 greater than nu 1. To resolve the dilemma, the paradox seen in the study of average kinetic energy of the photoelectrons, they studied this sort of experiment. In this experiment, they considered I, intensity of light, constant, that is, the intensity of light falling on the photoelectric cell is held constant. Initially, in the first set, frequency nu is selected. They found that when intensity I is constant, the current is somewhere here. The retarding potential is increased. At 0 retarding potential, the current is here. As the potential is increased, this current go on decreasing and decreasing, and at value Vs1, it becomes 0. Vs1 is stopping potential for frequency nu 1 at a constant intensity I. It means that when the retarding potential becomes Vs1, it is minus value, the current flowing through the photocell is stopped, and therefore this potential is known as stopping potential. Keeping the same intensity, now the frequency of light is increased. It is now made nu 2. Nu 2 is greater than nu 1. At the same intensity, what is found? Same current. As the retarding potential is decreased continuously, the current go on decreasing and decreasing and decreasing, and at the value Vs2, more negative than Vs1. At the value Vs2 more negative than Vs1, the current ceases, the current stops. This is the stopping potential or the potential retarding potential required to make the current zero through the photocell. And here the value of Vs2 needed is much more than Vs1. In the third set, intensity of light is held constant, again equal to the earlier two values. The frequency is increased. Now it is made nu3. This nu3 is more than nu2 as well as more than nu1. The experiment started with retarding potential is equal to 0. When retarding potential is 0, the current is at the same value as was obtained for frequencies nu1 and nu2. As the retarding potential is increased in steps, the current starts decreasing and decreasing and decreasing, and at the value Vs3, the current through the photocell ceases. The current through the photocell stops, and for this Vs3 is the stopping potential for the frequency nu3. What inference, what conclusion can be drawn from study of this experiment? Kinetic energy of photoelectrons here is small. Kinetic energy of photoelectrons here is more than this. Kinetic energy of photoelectrons here is more than this as well as more than this. It means that the odd thing they observed after performing this experiment is that average kinetic energy of photoelectrons in photoelectric effect is independent of intensity of the light falling on the photocell. Average kinetic energy of the photoelectrons depends on the frequency of light used. More frequency, more energy, smaller frequency, smaller kinetic energy. The odd thing they observed after performing this sort of experiment is that the average kinetic energy of the photoelectrons in the photoelectric effect is independent of intensity, but it depends on frequency. Frequency used is smaller, the average kinetic energy of photoelectrons will be smaller. Frequency used is larger, the average kinetic energies of the photoelectrons emitted in the photoelectric effect will be larger. It means that the kinetic energy of photoelectrons emitted in the photoelectric effect is independent of intensity. It is not decided by intensity. What decided by intensity? Number of photoelectrons emitted in the photoelectric effect will be decided by intensity of light. But the average kinetic energy of photoelectrons emitted in the photoelectric effect is decided by the frequency. It is not decided by the intensity. This is very, very important conclusion, because these two things are not explained by the wave theory of light. Instead, help of quantum theory of light has to be taken to explain these two things, and that is what the name of this chapter, particle nature of wave. Particle nature of wave. This thing can also be applied, this principle can also be applied to figure 4. Let me take maximum kinetic energy on y-axis and frequency nu on x-axis. Let me explain what is meaning of study of figure number 3. This is figure number 4. What is meaning of study of figure 3, or what conclusion we can draw from study of figure 3? Average kinetic energy of the photoelectrons is dependent on frequency of light falling. It is independent of intensity of light falling on the photocell. What does this mean? Let us consider the 7 colors from the visible region. VIBGYOR. Here frequency is highest, here it is lowest. If you go from violet towards red, the frequency is going decreasing. Frequency of violet is highest, frequency of red is smallest. Let us consider violet and blue color. Let us consider violet and blue color. Frequency of violet is more than frequency of blue. If you use faint violet color, faint of lower intensity, and if you use strong blue color, what you will find? In this case, number of electrons emitted will be more. In this case, number of electrons emitted will be few in number. But if you find the kinetic energy of the photoelectron emitted in this case and in this case, you will find that kinetic energy of the electron emitted when you use faint violet light is more than the kinetic energy of the electrons emitted when you use strong blue light, intense blue light. It means that kinetic energy of photoelectrons is independent of intensity of the light falling on the photocell. Instead, average kinetic energy of photoelectrons is always dependent on the frequency used. To study relation between the kinetic energy of the photoelectron and the frequency, let us try to prove this from figure 3. Tmax, maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons, nu the corresponding frequency. This graph will be different for different metals. This graph will be different for different metals. What we find here, this is a straight line. Graph between maximum kinetic energy on y-axis and frequency nu on x-axis is a straight line. Up to this value of frequency, there is no emission of photoelectron because corresponding kinetic energy is 0. There is no emission of electron because corresponding kinetic energy is 0, and this frequency is known as nu 0. From frequency nu 0 onwards, if we use frequencies more than nu 0, then only photoelectrons will be emitted from the given metal, and as you go on increasing the frequency, their kinetic energy will also go on increasing. This minimum frequency needed to start photo emission from a metal surface is known as threshold frequency. The minimum frequency nu 0 needed to start photo emission from a metal surface is known as threshold frequency. If the frequency of light used for photo emission is smaller than nu 0, smaller than the threshold frequency, there won't be any photoelectric emission. Photoelectric emission will not be possible. If you use frequencies equal to nu 0 or greater than nu 0, then only there will be photo emission. Then only there will be emission of photoelectrons. It will cause the photoelectric effect. And from this graph, what we see, as the frequency is increasing, the kinetic energy T max is also increasing. So the relation shown in figure 4, the graphical relation shown in figure 4 verifies that the average kinetic energies of the photoelectrons is independent of intensity of light. Instead, the average kinetic energy of photoelectrons depends on the frequency of light used. From this figure, we can write one equation: T max is equal to H into nu minus nu 0. This nu is any frequency more than nu 0. If we consider nu somewhere here, corresponding T max will be this. If we consider nu somewhere here, corresponding maximum kinetic energy will be this. If we consider the frequency nu somewhere here, corresponding kinetic energy will be this. This is represented by this equation. Up to nu 0, there is no energy, no kinetic energy. No kinetic energy, there is no emission of photoelectron. And therefore, T max is equal to H into in the bracket any nu minus nu 0. And corresponding T max can be found. Or this is for the H nu minus H nu 0. This H nu 0 is known as work function of the metal, which is product of threshold frequency of the metal and Planck's constant H. Value of Planck's constant H is 6.625 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. Or from this equation, we may further write H nu is equal to T, the kinetic energy, plus H nu 0. What is the meaning of this? H nu is the energy falling on the photocell. This energy H nu is utilized in two ways. The part H nu 0 is known as the work function. Work function is the minimum amount of energy needed to emit an electron from the metal surface. Okay, so H nu 0, part of H nu is utilized in releasing the electron from the metal, and remaining part T is carried by the photoelectron as kinetic energy. So this is about the photoelectric effect. I hope you understood all the things regarding photoelectric effect. Let me repeat this in short. In figure 1, we have drawn the circuit diagram needed. We explained the circuit diagram needed for this purpose. Before that, we defined the photoelectric effect. What is photoelectric effect? The emission of photoelectrons from surface of a metal when a high frequency light incident on that metal surface. Keeping this thing in mind and using the circuit diagram in figure 1, we studied how the photoelectric effect take place and the various parameters can be found using this photoelectric effect. You can find H by E, you can determine H, you can also determine the maximum velocity of electrons. In the second figure, we studied the relation between the photocurrent and intensity of light, keeping frequency constant. And what we found? We found that the photoelectric current is directly proportional to intensity, more photocurrent. But the stopping potential for constant frequency and three different intensities is same as seen from figure 2. It means that the average kinetic energy of the photoelectrons for 3 different intensity of light is same. When the discoverers of this effect studied the energy spectrum of the photoelectrons, they get puzzled because they found that energy spectrum of the photoelectrons is not directly proportional to intensity. The average kinetic energy of photoelectrons is not directly proportional to intensity. Number of photoelectrons emitted are directly proportional to intensity of light, but the average kinetic energy of the photoelectrons is independent of the intensity of light falling on the photocell. After that, I considered one small example of sodium with various figures for intensity and number of atoms, and I proved there that wave theory of light is unable or incapable of describing these things. Wave theory of light failed to explain the photoelectric effect. After that, we studied figure 3, the photoelectric current versus various frequencies with constant intensity. And what we found, when the intensity is held constant and frequencies are varied, for constant intensity the maximum current, for 0 retarding potential is maximum. Okay, when the retarding potential is increased, the photoelectric current go on decreasing and decreasing, and it will become 0 at different retarding potentials, which are taken as the stopping potentials. And there we found that high frequency, high stopping potential, low frequency, low stopping potential. It means that the average kinetic energy of photoelectrons is decided by the frequency and not by the intensity. And further, to understand relation between the kinetic energy and frequency, we drawn figure 4, and from this relation again we conclude that the total energy of the light falling on the photocell is utilized in 2 parts. H nu 0, which is known as work function, is utilized to just release the electron from the metal surface, and the remaining part T is carried by the photoelectron as kinetic energy. This is about the photoelectric effect, and I hope you got it. Thank you.